Welcome to Women's Rugby Rundown 222 for October 27th through November 2nd. This week, we continue covering the massive growth in the international game as the 2025 Rugby World Cup finished with 1.1 billion digital impressions. On the Sevens front, the HSBC Sevens season will kick off November 29th in Dubai, and the Africa Sevens will serve as a qualifier for Sevens 3. In domestic news, the PWR is seeing a 183% spike in attendance. The Bulls Daisies have appointed an all-women coaching staff in South Africa, and the playoff races are heating up across the USA and Scotland. I'm Wendy, here to bring you the latest in women's rugby news. This is your Women's Rugby Rundown, and we're about to kick off. We'll start with 15's news. World Rugby is celebrating an extraordinary success following the 2025 Rugby World Cup. The event generated a stunning 1.1 billion social impressions, making it the second biggest Rugby World Cup ever on digital platforms. This demonstrates the massive, undeniable global impact of the women's game. It's a huge surge in attention, and it was driven by bold, personality-focused strategy that created new stars and appealed heavily to younger female fans, successfully reaching a new demographic for the sport worldwide. Moving to New Zealand, Alice Sopper has raised a critical issue, arguing that New Zealand's recent 2026 calendar shift could cause serious talent exodus. The decision to move the Super Rugby Opaki competition to the mid-year now puts it in direct conflict with more profitable Australian leagues like the NRLW and the AFLW. This change forces non-Black Fern players to make a difficult choice between earning potential overseas and playing domestically, an issue that could ultimately threaten to weaken New Zealand's overall talent development pool. A few weeks ago, the Chile women's team, the Las Monkeys, the Condors, proudly debuted in their first ever International 15s match. The team completely dominated their away contest against Peru in Lima, securing a massive 54-0 victory and signaling a huge step forward for the growth of the program across South America. Hosting preparations for the Men's Rugby World Cup USA 2031 are moving full steam ahead, with 27 cities, including major markets like Chicago, Miami, and New York, formally entering the applicant phase to host matches. This milestone underscores World Rugby's strategic plan to use the Rugby World Cup to grow the sport across iconic American markets. Following detailed evaluations through 2026, the final host cities are expected to be announced after the completion of the 2027 Rugby World Cup in Australia. Now in Sevens news, the top-tier HSBC Sevens 2026 series officially launches its season at the Emirates Dubai Sevens from November 29th through the 30th. This event will feature a new global structure with only 8 core men's and 8 core women's teams competing for the World Championship title. Australia will be defending the women's title at this specific stop, while New Zealand enters the season as the defending overall series champion. The Dubai Invitational is also running November 28th to the 30th, featuring the International Invitational, Open, and the new Social Women's Division. We announced a few weeks ago that Kenya will host the 2025 Africa Sevens on November 15th through the 16th in Nairobi. It serves as the official qualifier for the World Rugby Sevens 3. Defending champion South Africa, host nation Kenya, and Uganda are expected to battle it out for the top spots and the chance to progress on the global Sevens pathway. Now over to domestic and club news. The PWR is seeing incredible momentum. The opening round of the 2025-26 season saw a phenomenal spike in attendance, recording a massive 183% increase compared to the previous opening round. Round 2 delivered more statement wins. Defending champions Gloucester-Hartpury maintained their perfect start by overcoming Exeter in a high-scoring thriller, while Bristol dominated Leicester with a massive 74-0 shutout win. The league's success is further validated by Canterbury's renewal of its partnership, which includes supplying every player across all 9 PWR clubs with high-performance boots. The Bulls Daisies are ushering in a new era for women's rugby in South Africa, appointing an all-women coaching group led by Zane Jordan and Bongiwa Leko. The franchise, which boasts an incredible record of only 1 loss in the last 3 seasons, is focused on internal development by integrating junior talent and recruiting a prominent international player to mentor the squad as they prepare to defend their 3 consecutive titles. In the Arnold Clark Premiership in Scotland, Geary finally secured their first win of the season, beating Carth at Queen's Park 50-26 to avoid being cut adrift at the bottom of the table. Meanwhile, the race for the grand final spot tightened in the top half. Unbeaten Stirling County remains firmly in first after a dominant win, while Watsonians took a huge step toward the December 13th final by edging out Christorfen 17-12, securing second place. Round 3 of the AXA Elite 1 saw a major shakeup near the top of the table. Undefeated ASM Romagné dominated Blagnac, winning 36-3, and now leads the league with 14 points. The other big result saw Stade Bordelais crush Stade Villeneuve 61-5, while Toulon earned their first victory by narrowly defeating Lyon 20-18. The third round of the Series A Elite saw Valsugana fly to the top of the standings after a dominant 40-7 win over CUS Milano. The close result between previous leaders Villorba and Colorno helped Valsugana's position. Villorba won a tight 15-8 contest but failed to secure the bonus point. Elsewhere, Capitolina secured their first points with a 36-20 victory over Neapolis. In the Welsh Premiership, the latest round of matches reaffirmed the standing of Llandaff North, who retained the lead with a perfect 15 points. The race for the second spot remains incredibly fierce, with Seven Sisters and Bonnie Mine tied in the chase for the top spot, each holding 3 wins in the early stages of the competition. Round 5 of the Hong Kong Premiership reaffirmed Societe Generale Valley's dominant position as they crushed Gaiwu Falcons 43-0 to remain undefeated. The most critical result was the intense 7-7 draw between Natixis Ice and Kroll, leaving them tied for second place with 17 points apiece. Meanwhile, Causeway Sandy Bay secured their first win of the season over Kowloon. In round 4 of the BC Premier League, the top teams continue their dominance. Undefeated West Shore delivered a huge performance by routing Abbotsford, winning 120-17 to keep their perfect record intact. Elsewhere, Mariloma edged out a strong challenge from Burnaby Lake, 24-19, and Castaway Wanderers took a victory over Vancouver Thunderbirds, 32-19. The action is heating up across USA Club, with playoff brackets finalizing in several regions. The Atlantic region is officially in win-or-go-home mode as numerous divisions finalize their playoff brackets and dates. Nova remains the undefeated force in D1, continuing their undefeated run. The true drama lies in D2 and D3, where Nerfu and Empire have set their postseason matchups, while Capital and EPRU continue league play. In Northern, the D1 Midwest Premiership, the 4 semifinalists are locked in and ready for battle on November 8th. The D2 Midwest quarterfinals are now done, setting up thrilling semifinals on November 8th. In Mid-America, Omaha's big win over the KC Jazz vaulted them from 4th to 2nd. Meanwhile, a major surprise happened in the Rocky Mountain Division as Colorado Springs Pikes Peak took down the Slugs, seizing the top spot. Then in the Gulf Coast, there were crucial match results over the weekend, firming up some standings. In D1, the Utah Vipers dominated to secure their first place position. D2 saw Charlotte claim the top spot in Carolinas East, while Birmingham remains the team to beat in the True South. The D3 True South standings are now confirmed. Chattanooga leads the North and Battleship leads the South. That does it for all the news this week. Catch everything on our site at yscrugby.com and never miss one of our episodes. Women's Rugby Rundown is available anywhere you get your podcasts from.